look at this day. It is absolutely beautiful. Happy spring, everyone. I have been out in my yard looking at all of the potential places that I can plant things, etc. All of my seedlings are already started, and if you started yours, let me know in the comments. Today is all about Easter. We're going to be making some beautiful decor items and also something that's very important on Easter Day. We're going to be doing a fun upcycle on an Easter basket, and I love this so much I made 4 for my grandbabies. So I can't wait to give those to them. But more importantly, do you see this beautiful little lady on my coat? I'm going to be giving her away to one of my lucky subscribers. Make sure if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Leave a comment and like it, and it'll make you eligible to win this beautiful bee. Now, if you watched the last episode, you'll see that we made brooches, and I made this bee last episode where I taught you how to cast your own jewelry out of silver soldering wire. So this little lady is going to be coming to one of you, and I can't wait to send that out to you. So make sure that you subscribe, like it, and leave a comment, and you might be wearing this brooch soon. All right, you guys, take care. Much love to you all. As always, thank you for coming and visiting me here at Winter's house. Look at this weather. Oh, I love it. All right, guys, take care. Much love. Mwah. You guys are gonna love this project. I have had so much fun creating these. I'm actually making 4 of them for my little grandbabies. And I've taken something that almost looks like a beach bucket. They have these at Hobby Lobby. I think they were $7 and they were 50% off, so $3-ish. And I traditionally always buy them the wicker baskets. I did that for my kids, but to get a really beautiful one, I mean, they can be very pricey, and when you're out hunting for Easter eggs, there's not a whole lot of space in those wicker ones. So I thought, you know what, we can do better, and this is a great price point as well, that this is something too that they can reuse and keep year after year for the Easter egg hunting. Now you can see that I'm really kind of being sloppy with my paint. I want a lot of texture. I want this bucket to look old and shoved up in an attic and brought out every Easter for the Easter egg hunt. And you're gonna get a big kick of where we go next with this. But right now I'm just concentrating. I'm gonna paint every bit of that ugly green plastic bucket, even the bottom and the inside. And so the first coat's pretty sloppy. You can see that I'm laying my brush in all different sorts of ways. And I'm doing that simply to get a lot of texture, because we're gonna be distressing these buckets. So I just want these to look old and crusty. Now they came with a yellow handle that looks very, beach bucket-ish. And so we're gonna do something, I think, to upcycle that as well. We're gonna kind of change the handle to kind of let it look, again, its age, an old bucket, maybe from the 1920s. And it almost kind of takes on the look of paper mache. So you can just see I'm slopping it on. And again, this is DIY Apothecary that I'm using. It's a mineral-based paint, and it will adhere to anything. And that's why I'm using this on the plastic. Now you can use Rust-Oleum paint that is geared towards plastic that will adhere, and that's fine too. But the reason that I'm using the DIY paint, I love it, yes, but I want to have lots of layers of this paint on there, just like this old Easter bucket has just been around. So you guys stick around. We're gonna go to our next step here in a minute. I'm gonna let this dry for a little while and add one more coat, and then we're gonna come back to the next step. And I hope you guys love this as much as I do. Which look like this, and yes, it's Easter. We're going to use the bunny, and the bunny looks like that. You guys, it's already started to snow. We're supposed to get some snow here coming in. They said it was coming, and boy is it. Let me get my mounting sheet right here. And I thought we just put him right here on the front of the bucket. Just like that. Let's ink up our little guy first. And I'm just dabbing this. I don't want too much, but I want enough. So you can see that let me get some of the nice thing is you can see through it, and if you're missing any. And then make sure that this piece of sheet that you're carrying the stamp on, go back and wipe off if you've got any ink, because that'll go onto your project that you're inking. So okay, and then I'm going to pick the middle of my bucket here. I'm going to find the center. The nice thing is you can kind of eyeball it. I'm going to put him a little bit lower. Now you don't want to really move this once it's on. And you're just going to use very soft little fingers. And these little bunny whiskers, little eyelashes. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look how cute. That is adorable. And so my thought is above this, I'm going to stencil my grandchildren's name. And I'm going to show you the stencils I'm using. Y'all, we're going to be using these stencils from Jamie Ray Vintage. And if you've not checked out their channel, they are amazing. It's a couple, husband and a wife, that do it, and they're very entertaining and do some great projects. So I'm going to put my grandson's name on the top of this bucket, and we're merely going to stencil. So since I'm going to use just the first 3 letters of his name, I'm going to start with actually the middle letter, and I'm going to center that up on the bucket. So the Dom, here, there. And it would be probably more easier for yourself. It probably would be quite a bit easier for yourself if you tape the stencil, but I'm just going to hold them. So I'm going to find the center from my handles, and I'm eyeballing where I think it would look good. And I think we're going to go for this O. And that way each grandbaby, also too, you can put a piece of tape across so you're setting them all on the same line. I kind of live on the wild side, so I'm going to do it this way. And when you're stenciling, you want a pretty dry brush. You don't want it to be too goopy. There it is, there's the O. That's not too shabby. So you always want to wipe your stencil off. Keep it clean for next time. I would imagine you could probably wash these two in the sink with some Dawn dishwashing soap. So I'm gonna lay that one aside. And I'm gonna put the D on. How cute this is gonna be. And we are going to wax these to make them look a little more vintage. So there's the D. Just making sure I'm lined up here. And again, a piece of painter's tape across would be helping my cause, but I'm living on the wild side. And I'm gonna go on. These are great little stencils. This is the first time I've used them. There's the D. Now you could come back with some of your apothecary and clean that up, but I kind of like it, but it's not perfect. You know me and handmade things. I love it when it doesn't look like it came from a factory. And then we're just simply gonna put the M on right here, right above the bunny ears. Let's see here. Wipe that off. I'm going to do half and half. There it is. How cute is that? Oh my gosh, these are so cute. Now we can go a couple different ways now as far as our finishes. I could put a coat of Big Top on it, and we could distress it a little bit so it looks like it's kind of been up in someone's attic. Or we could white wax it, which that might be pretty as well. But I think that is gonna be super cute. I think we're gonna go maybe age it up a little bit. So we're gonna let this stamp dry, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna age it up. Okay guys, here we go. The last and final step. Well, these are so cute, I just can't take it. This is Dominic's, obviously. This is my plan, hopefully it'll work. Big Top After Show, love this stuff. And basically it's a sealant. And the reason I'm wanting to seal this is for two reasons. One, it's going to be outside while they're egg hunting in the grass, and it could be rainy weather, etc. And so I want this to hold up. Yes. The other reason is I'm wanting to use a wax that I'm basically using the decrepit dust in, and so I'm wanting to control where that aging is on the bucket. If I didn't use the sealant, this would get very, very dark, and you would kind of lose that really beautiful apothecary color. And I really want to keep these kind of cheerful and Eastery, but I do want to age them up. So this is the plan. Also too, I wanted to show you where we're going to go with the handle. We're going to actually I'm going to show you. This is the original handle. So see, it still kind of looks like it's a plastic beach bucket. So we're going to toss that baby out. You can repurpose it for something else if you like. And I found this wire jute string that I think I might braid a section and then loop it back through these holes. And then that'll be the handles, which I think it'll be kind of cute. You could also use wire as well. If my little grandbabies were a little bit bigger, I might use like wire, kind of age it up. I think that would be cute too, but I was afraid of their little fingers getting pinched. So Grandma's using this just to keep their little paws safe, but I think this will be pretty too. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna put this in time lapse so you guys don't want to poke your eyeballs out with boredom. And then we'll come back and we're gonna add the decrepit dust, which I love that stuff. We are going to, the top coat is dried enough, I think. I hope I don't hate myself for this. They probably should dry a little bit longer. But we are gonna add a little bit of the wax. And again, this is DIY, but you can get Bear or anything, the Bear brand or anything that you like. if you can't get DIY paint, because I know sometimes it's not in your area and you have to order it. So I'm gonna put the wax where I think it would naturally get kind of old and funky. And so I'm gonna go all around that opening, and then I'm just gonna follow the rim here. Now I'm gonna say too, when you put wax over your DIY top coat, it will dull your surface because it is wax, but that's okay because my sealant is serving a purpose of making this a little bit more water tight for Easter egg hunting. And you can see that I used a brush. There's a little bit of wax in this, and so normally I wouldn't contaminate my wax, but you can see that there's decrepit dust already on the brush, and I did that on purpose. And I'm just applying the wax itself. Now the fun part about this project is you can do whatever makes you happy. If you don't want to put the top coat on and you want to make this a little bit darker with the wax and the decrepit wax, or you can get dark wax. Now here's a good example. If you get too much decrepit on there, the white wax will walk that off a little bit. I'm going to show you what's going to happen here. I spilled an entire container of this once, and it was not a good day. Let's just say that was very hard to get up. You see how it almost looks like rust? So I'm going to put it around that. And I'm just going to put it around here, around this. Around here too. I just want this to look like an old crusty bucket that was somebody's in the 1920s. And the nice thing about wax is you can really manipulate it. You can see that by adding that top coat, it helps us to manipulate that a little bit better. Now, if we hadn't used the top coat, that would be a whole different ball game. And you can see that I can walk this back on places that I don't want it. So maybe the middle of that lip, I'll go around. Without the top coat, again, this pigment-based paint would have just bobbled it up, and this would have been a pretty dark project. And this is where you have fun, guys. You just keep working with it until it looks good to you. And since you have all this texture to it, it's going to be so much fun. You can see I'm going to go over and kind of blend this. You can keep manipulating. It's looking old already. So now I'm going to kind of go down probably on the base of this and use my wax. Now, if for some reason the paint does lift, no worries. Just go back and patch it up with the same color that you painted it. And you can still see I haven't done the bottoms yet. That's okay. I'll get there. You just keep working in the paint how you want. And then what I'll do is I'll come back with a cloth and kind of wipe that back a little bit. And see where we put all that texture? See how that's picking it up? And since we have the top coat, it's not totally absorbing it all. Just ignore the ringing. That's actually Spam. Little stinkers. And you can even take your, oops. Now see, if I get too much of this on for my liking, all I have to do is literally take the white wax and back it off. And I want this to kind of look like an old antique bucket somebody's loved a long time ago. See how it's picking up all of that texture that I put on. I'm going to go through the bow. And I'm going to need to go back and maybe add a little bit more wax. And you guys, this is just something that you take your time on. And unless you let it sit and cure, which takes, a little bit of time, you have time to come back and just keep working on this. See all the texture again? Now, if I add some white wax to this, watch what happens. It's almost like an eraser. I can back it off. See? And you see? And so it may look like I'm being heavy-handed right now, but I know that I can use that clear wax to go back and back off any of that color that I'm putting on. I'm going to put this in time lapse, so again, you guys don't want to go nuts watching me do this, but basically I'm adding the clear wax. I'm adding it to the bucket. I'm going in with my decrepit dust and I'm just kind of mixing it in there, using the clear wax to back up any spots that I think are too dark. Pretty. Again, you can just keep tweaking and tweaking, but you can see the difference. Here is the before and here's the after. Now you can keep it just like Gray's. It's got a top coat on it. It'll be somewhat watertight out collecting eggs. And I just think this one and the Dominic's looks a little bit more antique, and so that's what I was going for. Now we're going to add a handle, and again, this was the handle that came off of them. And you could wrap that in with some maybe twine or ribbon, and I think it would be fine. But again, I wanted mine to look a little more antique. So I'm actually using, I got this from Hobby Lobby, it's actually twine that's got wire on the inside. So I just simply ran it through the hole, and you determine how long you want your handle. And I think I'm going to go about like that, and then you're just going to run it back down through that hole and secure it that way. Oh my goodness, it's all done. Look how cute this basket is. It looks like something we just dug out of the basement or the attic or an old shed. I absolutely love this, and you can distress it or not distress it as much as you want. That is totally up to you, but I think these really do look old and antique and will be beautiful on Easter Day as the little ones are collecting little Easter eggs to put in these. I'll make sure I stage it and show you guys what it looks like with the grass and Easter eggs in it. I think too, I'm gonna add a bow, maybe a vintage ribbon or something to the side, and maybe a pretty little silk Easter flower. So there it is, guys. I hope you try it. If you do, put it down in the comments. I know everybody would love to see it too. You guys take care. guys, here's a really easy project that I think you'll love. These are inexpensive eggs that you can find at the drugstore. These came from Hobby Lobby. I think they were probably $1, if maybe a little bit less. And then I took the color Apothecary. This is my DIY paint. And I took off the top, I left the top clear, and I painted the base inside and out. And I made a party favor to go on each person's plate at the Easter table, and I think they turned out so beautiful. These are actually chocolate eggs on the inside that I unwrapped, and I set them in a bed of reindeer moss, and I sprinkled a little Spanish moss at the top. And this is just an old salvage piece of fabric that I just think is perfect. And I think it's something that they can take with them and enjoy. Look how pretty that is. And eat the eggs, and then they have the egg that they can repurpose into something else next year. There it is, guys. Give it a try. All right, now we're gonna be using more of these Target dollar spots. And I have 4 of these. And my idea is, these were $3 a piece, that I use them like, have you ever seen when people, they get the butterflies or the bugs or the insects and then they pin them? It's kind of gross. These aren't real bugs that we're using, but we're gonna mimic that look. And we're gonna be using an IOD transfer. We're gonna be using the butterflies. And so, if you've not used these transfers yet, oh my gosh, check them out, they're amazing. IOD sisters, love you. And just the sheet of them, I know they can be pricey. They go a long way. And so here's one of the butterflies right here that we're going to be using in the image. Okay, so we're going to be using these 2 butterflies, and we're going to be putting them on the inside of one of these pieces of plexiglass. You guys, I'm going to show you how easy it is to put this transfer on. Literally, I just put it on like a sticker, and then you have this tool that you kind of burnish it on. I don't know if that's the right word. And you're gonna work from one side to the other. At least that's how I do it. You might, oh, yours different. And see, it comes off just like that. Now that's the sticker part of the glue from the, let's see if I can get that off. I need glue gone for that. But there it is, isn't that pretty? So then I'm gonna sandwich it in between here, and then in here it goes. How pretty is that? So you could do more butterflies. Since these are just $3, you could do a good collection of them. But look at that. Oh, look how beautiful. Those are so pretty. I do think I'm gonna paint the frames black, but you could paint them anything you want. I think the black would make it pop. Although these are pretty too, they kind of look more natural. You know, these are going up into the shed. But I just think these are pretty. Let's do one more. I'm gonna show you what these is. I wish I had bought more now. I don't know if they still have them. If you've seen them, let me know in the comments if you've seen them at the store still. And you get 8 sheets in this little lady. Let's see what's going on here. There's a butterfly. You just need one more butterfly. There's one right here. Let's go for that one. I don't think there's one on there that would be easier to get to. Nope. Oh, maybe. Oh, there's a big one. Let's go for that one. That's beautiful. So this is how I do it. I just kind of cut around what I need. I don't know if, oops, you can't see now, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna cut around. And these transfers are so easy, your kids could do them. And set your book aside. And then you're gonna take the sticker off. Now, if it's really big, sometimes I'll start pulling the sticker back. Let me try to get it in the middle here. So pretty. Okay, now we're gonna use this tool that comes with the transfer. It's just like a little plastic stick. And we're gonna set to business. And you're just wanting to burnish all of this. And I usually start from one end to the other. When your paper starts getting opaque looking, it's losing the color, that means that your transfer is beginning to stick. This is a pretty big size one. See the difference in this? I'm going to show you. The glare's getting me. You see how this one's lighter, this one's darker? That's because the light side is already separated apart from the sticky and the sticker. I'm gonna make sure I get these little antennas. I think we're good. Oh, look how pretty. Look how pretty. So again, this is going to go back in our frame. Let's see. And back in it goes. Look how beautiful. We'll raise it up so we don't have so much glare. There's the big butterfly. And I'm seeing a little bit of residue up around where I was burnishing the transfer off. And I think I could take some glue gun, oh my goodness, Goo Gone, and get in there and kind of clean up around that with the Q-tip. I don't think that would be bad at all. Here's the smaller one. The smaller one, the bigger one. And the bumblebee. Look how pretty. So I think these will really be gorgeous, just kind of hanging in a collection. And guys, $3 for the frames. These frames you could do anything with. So we have 4 of these beautiful frames. These are so pretty. And we didn't have to kill a butterfly or a bee. Here they are. And I'll take a shot of them too when there's not a big glare. But I think this is an easy, fun project to have some quick art on your walls that's really beautiful for spring. These little bunny images, they're really just tissue paper, and I think these will be perfect in these because depending on where you hang them, you can actually see through them, and it's really, it's a very beautiful, delicate piece of paper. Look how handsome this bunny is. They're both adorable. And so merely what we're going to do is just take these 2 pieces of plexiglass, those 2 together. And I Make sure I got all the stuff off of it. And then it's easy as this. And it goes. And then it's got a little stopper that goes in the bottom. It holds it all in. How cute that is. So that's the boy bunny, and I just think he's adorable. Look how cute he is. And there he stands. And what's great is these are square enough they could sit on a shelf, little shelf sitters. And there's this one. I love how these turned out. Look how regal they both look. So handsome. I am going to leave these out all spring. I think they're beautiful for Easter for sure, but I think this is something that you could leave out all spring. And using a $3 frame from Target Dollar Spot, I mean, it's pretty incredible. And you can change out that print to suit your fancy for whatever season that is. And again, I just painted them with DIY paint, and then I distressed it to kind of make them look old. So there they are. I hope you guys enjoy this and give it a whirl. After my walk in the potager, and it made me yearn for growing things in my garden. So I thought the next best thing while we're working on these spring projects is to go ahead and force our own bulbs. And this is a beautiful thing that I do every year to force bulbs for my Easter table. These are canna lilies. These are a beautiful kind of cranberry red bloom that is absolutely lovely. And the great thing about it is when you're done forcing them, you can go ahead and plant them in your garden. And they're a perennial. They'll come up again and again. You're going to fill your vase up with about this much of rocks. It can be deeper if you want, but it's got to be enough that you have about this much water, and then the bulbs are going to just sit on top of it. You don't want to submerge the bulbs. It'll actually destroy and rot the bulb. You just want it to kind of tease it so those roots come down and reach the water to encourage it to grow. And so we're just going to be lining this base, and I do this every single year with different tulip bulbs are my favorite. And I thought I would grab these while I could. Right there on the edge, and this big one in the middle. I might even have room for this little guy here to go. So again, you can see how they're sitting on the rocks. You're gonna wanna fill right up to where their little legs, their little feet can touch it. And again, do not submerge them. Don't let them run dry. Just keep the water steadily right where they kind of sit on. You just wanna encourage them to kind of reach down and get that water. These I think I picked up at, I picked these up at Home Depot, but you can grab these. There was 3 for $9.99. I just think they're beautiful, and I always get perennials, always. So it's the gift that keeps on giving, and these around Easter time will be absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so you can force any bulb.